Jimmy drama. Heat Nation reacts to the trade rumors surround Jimmy Butler.
Super Copa Classic. La Liga's Barcelona and Real Madrid face off in another historic rivalry match.
And new faces on campus. The Miami Hurricanes have found the replacement for QB Cam Ward. All this and more. The Sideline starts now.
Hello, South Florida, and welcome to the Sideline, the place where you get all the highlights for your South Florida team. I'm Anthony Cruz, and it's good to be back.
And I'm Julian Lascano. It's good to be back, too. Drama has been stirring in the 305 between the Heat's Jimmy Butler and talks about moving onto another team.
Sideline's Esteban Rodriguez has more on fan reactions about the superstar who once was a Miami icon.
It has not been the ideal season Miami Heat fans had in mind. The team currently has a worse record than they did at this very same point last season. And to make matters worse, their superstar Jimmy Butler has implied that he wants out of the 305.
I want to see me get my joy back from playing basketball.
Can you get your joy back here on the court?
Probably not.
It honestly breaks my heart because Jimmy's like the heart and soul of our team. And you know, in the playoffs, he's going to turn up and go crazy. But right now he wants to leave us, so we're losing our heart, so I don't know where that leaves our season.
The truth is, it's sad. Let me tell you, I lived in Kansas City and I moved to Miami to watch Jimmy Butler play because he's my favorite.
Miami's done a lot for him. Great player, but I think he's going around, the wrong way.
While most of Heat Nation has turned their back on Jimmy, others will put the blame on Pat Riley, the team's owner, not wanting to pay a player past his prime.
You could say Pat Riley, you could say Jimmy, but they got to meet in the middle, man.
No, I think they're both right. I think Jimmy Butler's just trying to look after his best interests. If we're talking $100 million, I'll start acting like a drama queen myself.
I feel like Jimmy Butler isn't happy with the team, like he doesn't want to play in Miami. However, no matter how upset the fan base is at Butler, it looks like they would accept him back should he not get traded.
I would definitely, man. He's done a lot for the team, and, we've won with him,
I think they will because he's just funny enough. He'll do something weird or goofy, and then right after that, they'll get him.
But, that's Jimmy, man. Jimmy's going to be Jimmy.
See that? I gave you the compliment. That's what bosses do. We build you up. We don't break you down. That's it.
It is still unclear whether their team will trade what was once their number one, but it does look like things will get worse before they can get better. For Caplin News, I'm Esteban Rodriguez.
And staying on the Heat, they continued their successful West Coast trip with a Saturday night shootout in Portland. Here's Tyler Hero throwing a cross-court pass to Haywood Highsmith, who cashed in 4 triples in the first half. Anthony Simons tried to will back the Blazers with 17 third-quarter points, but he was matched by Hero, who on this play said, "Let me have this dance." Step back and the 3 points. Hero would finish with 32 points. The final score was Heat 119, Portland 98. The Heat are set to face the Los Angeles Clippers tonight, though we still do not know if the game will be postponed.
And a slugfest in Sunrise after the Panthers fall short in an overtime thriller against the Bruins. Third period here, Panthers down 2-1 on a 3-on-3 breakaway. The captain Alexander Barkov dishes it to Sam Reinhart for a tap-in. Boston would match it 2 minutes later. Reinhart puts the team on his back again, floating the game-tying shot over to Patrick Swayman. It wasn't the night, though, as David Pastrnak would ice it with 1.2 seconds in overtime. The final score was Bruins 4, Panthers 3. The Panthers will take on the Philadelphia Flyers tonight.
The University of Miami has a new face on campus, and he's got quite the resume. Football quarterback Carson Beck just transferred from Georgia, where he has 2 championships under his belt. He will be replacing Cam Ward as he moves to the NFL draft. And if moving to Miami wasn't enough of an enticing factor, his girlfriend Hannah Cavender, guard for the UM women's basketball team, is currently on their roster.
And breaking news this morning as legendary boxer Tyson Fury has announced his retirement at 36. The Gypsy King wrote on Instagram, quote, "Hey everybody, I would like to announce my retirement from boxing. It has been a blast and I've loved every minute of this," end quote. His last match was against Alexander Usyk in a loss. Fury is stepping away from the sport with a 34-2-1 record.
Julian, it's now time for the return of my favorite segment, our biggest W's and L for the week. Here we present the stuff we really liked throughout the entire sports world and stuff we did not like as much. So let me start with mine. What a start to conference play for the FIU women's basketball team. They suffered a bad loss to Middle Tennessee to open up, who I've called on this broadcast the Bill Russell Celtics of women's CUSA. But they put their what a streak they've gone on these last couple games. Their defense doesn't surprise me, but how prolific their scoring has been is the real story here. And it's not just Paris Atkins and Ingena Belloso leading the charge, but Izzy Nottable had a 20 bomb to open up conference play at home. Lucia Fleta Robles has had some of her best games of the season in these past two. And Aaliyah Pitts had a double-double against her old school in Western Kentucky. So everything's clicking and coming together, and as we saw last year, they can still be a dangerous team even with all their injuries.
Of course, and for my win, the Washington Commanders winning their first playoff game since 2005 in their wild card match against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For the first part of it, it was a steady match with both teams stuck in a gridlock for the majority of the game. Commanders' Jaden Daniels threw for 268 yards and 2 touchdowns, but the star of the show was kicker Zane Gonzalez, who in the last seconds of the game scored the divisional doink that won the Commanders the match.
And now time for our bigger sells, the things we didn't like as much. I'll start with Paul George's recent comments to the media, which after a bad loss to the Pelicans without Zion Williamson, who sit dead last in the West as we speak, he said that he was bored with playing the small ball 5 at times in their last couple games with Andre Drummond and Joel Embiid out. Now the ironic part, Julian, is that these last 2 games have been some of his best games on the offensive end, especially in Orlando last night. But him and Guerschon Yabusele were getting overwhelmed in the paint with PG even fouling out. I get that it's not the best circumstances to play under, but as a guy who's brought in as a veteran to this team and has underperformed, I don't think it's the best look for the public or the locker room in general.
And for my L, we have the Madrid disaster class that we witnessed yesterday. The 2 Spanish football giants, Real Madrid and FC Barcelona, faced off in the Spanish Super Cup finals. Mbappe opened up the scoreboard to push Madrid ahead in the opening minutes of the match. But the Catalans quickly responded with 17-year-old wonder kid Lamine Yamal sliding in a sitter to tie the game. However, that turned quickly into a noose for Madrid as Barca's Robert Lewandowski scored a penalty and goals from Rafinha and Baldi sealed their coffin. The final score was Madrid 2 and Barca 5.
Hey man, we're still leading over you guys in La Liga, but it's time to break this.
Times against Barca.
The first one doesn't count. You know, we were all injured. You beat a hospital. But it's time to break the stick. But it's time to break, but stick around because here's what's next on the sideline.
Barcelona and Real Madrid face off in a historic match, and Miami can't seem to get enough. Sideline will take a timeout, and we'll be back in just 2 minutes.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Bill is a family man. He invests his money wisely and provides a good life for his children. Just one problem. He often opens emails from senders he doesn't know, and his computer is not password protected. One day, Bill checked his bank account and 94% of malware attacks originate from emails. Don't be like Bill. Take your cybersecurity seriously.
Fans took to the local mall to watch a matchup between Real Madrid and Barcelona in what they call the Spanish Super Cup fun.
And Sideline reporter Mia Flores joined the crowd to not only watch the experience, but the roller coaster of the game.
The Supercopa final has brought soccer fans all over the world a highly anticipated Clásico once again. But even though Real Madrid and Barcelona will face off in Saudi Arabia, fans in Miami don't fail to show their support.
Fans gathered at Sports and Social at Dolphin Mall Sunday afternoon to watch the iconic game, which for many is a match that goes way back. What can I say? I've been a fan of Barca since I was little, and we're the best in soccer. I've supported Madrid since 2002, and I'll support them until the end. This game makes the 303rd all-time encounter between the two, and surprisingly has only been played once in Miami, despite the eagerness of the locals. I would try to sell everything, my house, my family, just to go. It would be the best, especially in Miami where there's so many Barca and Madrid fans. It's clear that the fans are passionate and more than anything loyal to their teams, no matter the outcome. Even if we don't get anything today, I'm happy with what my team does.
One thing is for sure, this Clásico not only belongs to Spain, but to the whole world. And this match was without a doubt full of energy and a roller coaster of emotions that ended with a 5-2 win from Barcelona. Now the teams will get ready to get back on the field this week for Copa del Rey. For Caplin News, Mia Florian.
Now let's move on to this week's game picks.
We have Sideline's Nicola Esper, who gives you her insight on the games that are to come in South Florida.
Alrighty, we got a couple games coming up this week. First one being the Florida Panthers, who are traveling to 30-degree weather to face the Flyers in Philadelphia on Monday night after a tough 4-3 loss to the Bruins. The Panthers, with a strong 25-15-3 record, have been solid on the road, while the Flyers sit at 18-20-5 and have struggled, especially at home. Florida won in a high-scoring 7-5 game last time the teams met, and with the key players like Barkov and Reinhart, I'm taking the Panthers to win. Next up, we have the Heat, who are traveling to Los Angeles. The Clippers are looking to extend their 3-game home win streak. Both teams are 20-17 on the season, but Miami has been inconsistent on the road. With James Harden leading the charge and home court advantage for LA, I'm taking the Los Angeles Clippers to win this matchup. Number 4 is Duke is up next, who are hosting the Hurricanes after Cooper Flagg's 42-point performance last game. The Blue Devils are undefeated with a 10-0 record, which shows just how dangerous this Duke team can be. Miami, on the other hand, is 0-5 in conference play and have been struggling. This is going to be a tough game for Miami against Duke's high-scoring offense and tight defense. There is no doubt here, I'm picking Duke to win. That's all for the game picks this week. Back to you guys in the studio.
Just a reminder that if you want to keep up with updates, fun segments, and more from our crew, you can follow us on our Instagram for all things Sideline at sideline.caplin. That is all for today. I'm Julian Lascano.
And I'm Anthony Cruz. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week on The Sideline.